How do you beat procrastination? In this video, I want to help you to break past feeling stagnant, stalling on things that you know you need to do. In fact, you do want to do them, you keep getting sidetracked. A lot of people feel that procrastination is something that they have. It's an inbuilt mechanism. So in order to be able to help you understand procrastination, I need to move towards the word inspiration. Inspiration is something we feel. We feel inspired from within to make something happen. Think about that for a second. The thing that drives us to do anything, to block out anything else as a distraction and focus fully on the thing that we want to do, is that we value it very, very high. The things that we value very, very low, they're the things that we avoid, like the plague. Just for a moment right now, think, what do I avoid doing that I know I need to do, and it frustrates me that I don't do it? No matter how hard I sit and I stare, I just can't get that buzz to do it. Then think for a second, what are the things that just light me up, that I'm reliable, I'm committed, I'm dedicated, and I had this flood of energy coming into me that gives me the fuel to focus. That is inspiration. Where does inspiration come from? It comes from within. What generates this feeling within is excitement. Where does excitement come from? The idea of completing something. Where does the idea of completing something come from? Having a vision. Because if you have a vision, you know what you want to achieve. If you know what you want to achieve, then therefore there is a strategy. If there's a strategy, there's things to follow. And when you start to follow them, you get closer towards your goal. If you get closer towards your goal, you get closer towards your vision. So vision planning and not having a vision and not being inspired is why you procrastinate, why you hesitate when coming to do things, why you get frustrated that you just can't move forward. So how do you beat procrastination? You write out a very detailed plan and strategy about what you want to achieve with your personal life and your professional life. But I am going to say something to you. I'm going to use a little bit of an analogy here. You know I like an analogy. When I was younger, there was Super Mario Kart. Now, many of you will remember Super Mario Kart. Great game. I used to love it. I used to play on the machine, and I used to get so inspired. I'd sit down, not inspired by life goals, but I was just excited, okay? I'd set myself a target to be able to complete Super Mario Kart. And then you complete level 1, the game 1. And then suddenly you just play it again. And then it becomes a bit boring after a while. And then you start to lose interest in it after a little while. And then you stop using it for a little while. You're just losing inspiration. You've done it. You've completed it. And then about a week later, on the news, TV, whatever, comes, they're releasing version number 2. This energy just comes out of nowhere. You're like, yes, level 2. And then level 2 comes out, you get it home, you put it in the machine, and boom, you're off. You start playing level 2. You can't wait to get up in the morning. You're energized, you're inspired, you're buzzing. They've created this second stage for you. Now, what I want you to think about for a second is level 1 into level 2. At the beginning, you're like, oh, I really love to play Super Mario Kart 1. I really want to get stuck into it. I really want to do it. And then once it becomes something that you complete, the energy disappears. This is the same for your life. For every single level. Now, what's crazy is that whatever money I've made, whatever life goals I've achieved, whatever sport I've played and done really well in, whatever I've done, whether it's my physique, you are no different to me. Whatever you set your goal to achieve and you achieve it, you need to set something else. Whether it's entrepreneurial journey, vision, whether it's your wife, your life, partnership, the relationship you're living with your husband, whatever relationship you might be in. When things become stagnant, you become unfulfilled. When you become unfulfilled, you become frustrated. And when you're frustrated, everything slows down. And you get angry and arguments happen. Your job really is to then say, how do I re-inspire? How do I re-energize? How do I set a light again? You look at what you've accomplished right now, and you look at what you want to accomplish, and then you really start putting some detail to it. So I want to ask you a question. Right now, how do you feel? Inspired, energized, fulfilled? I know exactly what I need to do, and on a day-to-day basis, there is nothing I procrastinate over. I get shit done. Or, Mark, I know I've got so much more ahead of me. I just can't find that. I know I've got so much more ahead of me. Well, there's your telltale sign. I know I've got more, but you haven't articulated what more is. You haven't articulated a strategy of what needs to happen to get there. So what you're doing is you're looking at the future and getting so frustrated that you're not there. I know I've got more ahead of me. I'm frustrated because I want to do more, but I don't know what to do. Great. You just haven't created a strategy. So to break through procrastination, you need a very, very detailed vision. I've talked about vision planning, but in this context, it's about procrastination. Procrastination and frustration doesn't exist in my world. And I will tell tell you some other things. If I procrastinate over something and I have a very, very, very crystal vision, I cannot see how that thing aligns with my vision. And therefore I procrastinate over it because I don't actually see the value in it. So if you know the thing you need to do has to get done, but you're procrastinating over it, you need to, one, think and look, how does this complement the vision that I want to achieve? Or two, it may be that you value it low value enough to delegate, so that task you give to somebody else. So if you're procrastinating, but you're very clear on your vision, it may be a case that you just need to delegate because you think it's a low value task and you've got to focus on other stuff, or you need to write down, how does this task link to my vision, and write down as many areas as you can till you see the value in doing the task, and then you're inspired again. You'll feel inspired once you start writing down the reason why. Just wanted to stop the video for 2 seconds. Now, if you find my content helpful and you want to learn more from me, you want access to resources, you want more free trainings and live weekly webinars, then make sure you click the link in the description. Make sure you head over to my Impact and Integrity free Facebook group. Now, let's get on with the video. That's not the true purpose of this video, but if you have a vision, that's what you need to do to beat procrastination. Now, the second area of this is if you know you don't have a vision, you can't see clearly ahead towards the next 12 months, where do you want to be, what do you want to do, what do you want to have, all these different things. So now I'm going to encourage you and talk to you about what you need to do. What do you want to have over the next 6 to 12 months that's different to what you have today? What do you want to have? Where do you want to go? Are you frustrated with where you are right now in your life? Do you want to travel to more places? Do you want to live in a different place? Are you happy with where you are right now? What do you want to have or own that is more than where you are today? Now, that might be you want to have more team members in your business. You might want to own a different house. You've got to put down what do you want to have and own. And then what do you want your business to look like in 6 to 12 months time? Different from today, further ahead. Money, team, client numbers, retention figures. Like, what does that look like in 6 to 12 months time that really lights up a fire in you, that makes you feel inspired, energized, and really excited? If it doesn't excite you, you need to go deeper. You need to think bigger. You need to think grander. You need to stretch yourself more. And then when you actually start to have that, you just start making some notes. Write down a list. I want to be doubling my income. How does that make you feel? Yeah, I know it's achievable. Good. You need to stretch it. I need to be trebling my income. Why do I want to treble my income? Because I want to put down a deposit on a house. I want to rent a bigger property. I want to travel. Have you sat down with your partner and discussed with your partner what you both want? Has your partner told you what they would want? Does it stretch your vision? We want to move. I want my business to look like this. I want it to be earning this. I want to have that many clients. The whole idea of vision planning is you begin with a list of things that you want. Like, if you think, what do you want? And then you write it down and you go, if I had that, if I've achieved that, if I'd done that, if I completed this, I'd feel a sense of excitement and energy and really feel like I'm on my way to achieving something, which energizes me and fulfills me and inspires me to get shit done. Good. The only person that can give you that feedback is you. I will feel inspired, energized, and ready to attack my tasks. Then what you do is you write out once you've got your list of all the things you want to do, have, own, be, go to, what you want your business to look like, what you want your personal life to look like, what you want your relationship life to look like 6 to 12 months from now. You basically design what you want your life to look like. You design it. Then what you do is you fast forward to the end of 2025, for example, and you say, it's Christmas 2025. I have achieved this. I've got this. My business looks like this. And you start writing it out as if it's a novel that's already happened. It's Christmas 2025. This has happened. That's happened. And actually just give yourself permission to sit in a coffee shop with time and space and energy and freedom of mind and write down what you want to have achieved, what it looks like, but it has to be done as if it's already happened. You know, I could say it's 2025, me and my wife, we're now living in this particular property. The company looks like this. The revenue looks like this. The team looks like this. We've hosted these amount of events. We've traveled to here. And we basically, writing this almost manifests what you want to have in your life. Now, once you've created this idea that these things have already happened and it's realistic, then the only way that these things are going to happen is when you start living your life intentional to make sure they become real. So then you start reversing engineer back. I've got this, but what has to happen to make these happen? And then you write out 1 to 20 step by step strategies strategies and things that have to be ticked off for it to happen. I'm going to need to train this amount of people. They need to learn this specific thing. I need to create that within the business. Me and my wife need to have achieved this before this happens. And you start to strategize. When you start to strategize, you start to look at these things and go, wow, now I'm reverse engineering what has to happen. This is filling me with inspiration, energy, and motivation. As you're doing this, you start to feel yourself lifting up. Energy's lifting up. You feel great. And then all of the things you've been procrastinating on at the moment, you say, how do I feel now about going back to these tasks? Feel amazing. Can't wait to actually finish doing this process and go back to writing down my tasks. Great. That's what you have to focus on doing. Now, if you don't feel energized, inspired, and ready to go, what you have to do at this point is to keep writing the list and question to yourself if the vision plan that you've set for yourself is big enough. Now, funny thing here is, I do this every 3 to 6 months. I stop, I read my vision, and I go, how does it make me feel? Inspired, energized, fulfilled? Absolutely, right? Only recently we hit a milestone revenue-wise in the company. I was like, we've done that. I know how to do that. I know how to do that. Now, what do we do to get to the next level? And then I rechange the vision, and I look at what team members we need. I look at what we need in terms of the company and optimizations, and I make all this work, and I build the company to be bigger and better. And I look at what profit I make in the company. I look at what quality of life that we're having. All these things all add together to give me the energy and inspiration to just not procrastinate on tasks. So think about it like this. If you procrastinate, it's because you've not got a clear vision plan. Simple. There's no detail. You're not inspired to fulfill it. Therefore, you'll procrastinate on tasks. If you do have a vision plan, but you're procrastinating on tasks, it's because you've not delegated them or you can't see the value in the tasks. There is a solution to procrastination, and it isn't sitting at your computer screen or a notepad waiting till it disappears. You have it all inside of you. You just need to bring it to the forefront. Now, as always, if you do want my help or my team's help to develop your entrepreneurial skills, what I've just talked about here might not be tactics to make money, but it is a strategy and an entrepreneurial skill that everybody inside our program learns. How to master you, how to become the entrepreneur, how to become the CEO of your brand. And it's not just by doing lead gen, DMs, and booking sales calls. It's about becoming the business owner that you want to become. Now, if you want our help, all you need to do is click the link in the description and you'll see all the information about our build and scale programs, and you can get in touch and ask us any questions. My DMs are always available on Instagram. Anybody wants to message me, I'll reply to my messages personally. Myself, if you're listening on iTunes, I hope you find it helpful. Please tell more people. Let's get more people listening to the Mastery Podcast, following the YouTube channel as well. For now, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.